Disember kami pergi workshop di Universitas Sri Dinanti Palembang.
Iya.
Ya, rencananya mau pergi ke Banjarmasin tahun ini.
Iya.
Tapi COVID ini belum ditewaskan lagi, jadi kami bermula dengan ini dulu di Iktiraf.
Iya.
Jikanya lolos untuk pulang untuk pergi ke Indonesia, InsyaAllah saya dan tim saya akan ke sana, ke Banjarmasin.
Semoga dilancarkan, Prof.
Ya, InsyaAllah. Terima kasih. S1-nya dulu di mana, Asri?
S1 saya di Unhas, Prof. Universitas Hasanuddin, Makassar, ya.
Oke. Tahu. 3 kali saya di sana.
Ya, semoga kesempatan berikutnya saya bisa hadir ketemu dengan Prof. InsyaAllah.
Thank you.
Good morning, selamat pagi. Halo.
Ya, good morning, ya.
Ya.
Asri.
Siap, Prof.
Kamu suka apa ya?
Sekarang ini sedang belajar tentang integrated urban water management, Prof.
Oke. Ya. Kamu Bugis atau orang Makassar?
Iya. Bugis, Prof.
Bugis,
Asli
ya?
Bugis.
Ya, oke. Ya, sukunya ya?
Iya, Bugis, Prof. Ya.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Aminah.
Lutfi.
Salam, Dok.
Boleh dengar ya suara?
Ya, jelas.
Boleh, jelas.
Pak Asri, jika di kota kamu ada beda makanannya di Makassar?
Ya, hampir sama, Prof. Hampir
iya.
sama.
Karena teman-teman saya di sini, tim saya ini mau betul pergi ke Makassar tu.
Ditunggu, Prof. Ditunggu, Prof.
Alhamdulillah, ya. Lutfi, can we start
sir.
now?
Okay, sir.
When should we start?
Okay, it's almost okay. So we can start now. Okay.
Can we start?
Yes, Prof. We
Okay,
have the
go ahead.
date
On your side first.
Yes. Okay.
Go
Good
ahead.
morning, everyone. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is a great pleasure to meet all of you in this blessing day. Today we will attend the workshop on initiating PhD inquiry. This is the collaboration workshop between the Innovation Research Group on University Technology Malaysia and Urban and Regional Planning Institute Technology Sumatera. We have our exceptional speakers today and Professor Ismail Said. Hello, Professor. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
And Dr. Lee Yokley. Assalamualaikum, Dokter. Salam. Dr. Farah Diva Mustafa. Assalamualaikum, Dok. And Dr. Aminah Muslim. Assalamualaikum, Dok.
Waalaikumsalam.
Actually, we have registered participants from all over Indonesia. We have our friends from Yogyakarta, Mataram, Sulawesi, and of course, our sister university, Institute Teknologi in Kalimantan. We have 3 sessions today. The opening will be the greeting for our Dean, Dr. Rahayu Sulistiorini. Welcome, Dok. Assalamualaikum. Salam. And everyone, this is the greeting for us. Dr. Sulistiorini, please.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us say praise to God who gives thousands of favors to us until this day. We can implement this event with good health in pandemic COVID-19. The previous, I thanks Ms. Luffy that gives to me a time to welcome as Dean of Faculty of Technology, Infrastructure, and Regional Development, especially for Urban and Regional Planning Department as the organizer for this event or this workshop. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of the organizer or institution. Let me begin by giving all of participants a warm welcome to the initiating PhD inquiry workshop. And before we get started, I would like to express my appreciation to Green Innovation Research Group, Faculty of Built Environment and Surveying, University of Technology Malaysia, especially for Professor Dr. Ismail Said, Head of Green Innovation Research Group, Dr. Farah Diva Mustafa, Senior Lecturer in the Faculty of Built Environment and Surveying, Dr. Lee Yokley, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Landscape Architecture, Dr. Aminah Mohsin, Senior Lecturer in the Faculty of Geoinformation and Real Estate. Thank a lot for your time and support to give interesting topic to participants. And I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you for your effort to give interesting topic of how to get PhD, maybe the preparation, what is PhD research, expectation from potential supervisor maybe, and how to applying PhD program at University of Technology Malaysia. And behalf on my institution on ITERA, I say many thanks and great appreciation, and I will say to moderator to speak and continue this event, and please to our guest speaker and all participants, I would like to say once more on behalf of ITERA institution, welcome to this workshop. It is great to see so many of you here, and I hope it is give many opportunity or advantage to us and will help to learning, and I hope that is even continue in good condition. So I will say sorry or apologize if in this event workshop on initiating PhD inquiry any mistake or any lack of mistake. So please join this event workshop, and I will thanks and give the time to moderator Mr. Luffy. Thank you.
Thank you for the warm greetings, Dr. Rahayu. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, here the main section today. We will listen to the lecture from our speakers, Professor and the Doctor. Please proceed. Time is yours.
Thank you guys for giving the time for my team to share our knowledge. Thank you, Dean Dr. Rahayu. Really that my team wish that we can meet at your place once the COVID is dead, right? So now it's a big barrier that COVID has posed to us, but inshallah we will go there soon. Inshallah. Before we go to my slides, Tanya, can you show my whiteboard now? Okay, all right. Can you show my whiteboard? Can you pin it? Tanya, can you pin it?
Pin whiteboard.
My whiteboard.
Whiteboardnya Professor.
All right, thank you guys. I hope that everybody can see this whiteboard clearly, right?
Very clear, Prof.
Thank you. So my team comprised of Dr. Lee Yok Lai. She graduated from Tokyo University. Then Dr. Diva, she graduated from Forgotten, his name is Loughborough, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Loughborough.
Loughborough, okay. Then Dr. Amina from University Technology Malaysia, then myself, right? Our team has set this workshop more than a year ago at Universitas Tridhanti Palembang. We wish that we can be at your place, but let us begin this session by initiating a PhD inquiry using this platform first, right? So therefore, I would like to begin my session like this, and after 20 minutes, then I will call upon Dr. Lee Yok Lai to elaborate her research PhD, right? Then also research trends on landscape architecture. Dr. Lee Yok Lai is in landscape architecture. Dr. Faradiba is in construction economics. Dr. Amina is in land administration. And myself is like Dr. Lee Yok Lai, landscape architecture. But in the discipline of PhD supervisory, I do not just look at to supervise students who like to learn on landscape architecture, but also in other disciplines like urban planning, architecture, right? Okay, let us begin. Let us begin. So everybody, there are now 42, right? Or almost 40. Okay, let us look at these two. Curiosity, exploration, discovery. Where do I get these three words that are related together? I got it from research of my student on child friendly environment. Okay. So I think that it is important for our inquiry to start with curiosity. Before examining the meaning of curiosity, let me define a bit on the difference between inquiry, investigation, and PhD journey. So if I were to put an analogy, inquiry is a time that you are almost at the gate of the university. You begin to know what you want to do, but you have not enrolled yet into university. Okay. So, but when you begin to do your investigation, then you have to do the experiment. You are in the university, right? And the journey starts from inquiry today until you end your PhD examination, viva voce, right? Once you pass it, then your journey ends. Some take 6 semesters, others take 6 years. All right, it varies. Okay, so but all journey begins with curiosity. Okay, guys. Okay, since my team are from the built environment and surveying, but now I'd like to start by asking you all, putting your mind on curiosity on a subject not much of built environment. Okay, this one I mentioned it to my previous workshop last Saturday on about 25 docents, right? Now I'm going to ask you all here. Have you seen these plants before? No, never mind. The fruits is this. These are the fruits. Okay, I'm going to show you this fruit. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the fruits?
Yes. It's green.
Everybody?
Yes, clear.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Right.
Yes.
All right. This is a ficus fruit. Right? Fig. Or in Malay called ara. Ficus is in Latin, fig is in English, ara is in, I think this fruit, this name may be similar to those in Sumatra. All right? Hold on. Is this a fruit or a pseudo fruit? Okay, I'm going to show here. Yeah, pseudo fruit. Can you see this?
Yes, Prof.
Thank you. Right. Actually, it's not a fruit. It is a false calyx. Part of a flower, calyx, right? That wrap part of a flower, that wrap the flower is inside. Aha. So this is not a fruit. Here come the curiosity. Okay, I'm going to cut the fruits now. I got a knife here. Ta-da. Can you see the inside here? Can you see? Clear?
Yeah, yes, clear.
Yes, Prof. Yeah.
So what you see inside is the flower. Aha, here come the curiosity begins. Fig, there are more than 100 figs in the Malay archipelago, including Sumatra. Sumatra, I think, perhaps has more than in Peninsular Malaysia. I'm just guessing. We have lots of this fruit, fig, right? And the family of fig, the family called Araceae, are dependent on one insect to pollinate the flower, because the flower, this is the flower, it need to be pollinated by one insect. So here come the curiosity between these insects and the flower of figs. So I'm going to erase this part. Okay, guys, I purposely show this example so that you want everyone to think upon it. Okay, guys. So this is the fruit of fig. Right? So this is the flower. Fig. Okay. Then it need to be pollination. So it needs a wasp. A wasp. Here in Malaysia we call penyengat. It stings. It stings more powerful, more painful compared to bees. Yes, it stings. So, therefore, if we are in the discipline of biology, okay, we're going to see this relationship, whereby the wasp, as a pollinator, right, serve a service to this fruit of fig. How? It goes inside here. It goes inside here. It goes inside here. Here, if I can show you, actually there's one aperture here, right? As the fruits become to ripen. Therefore, this wasp to go through that aperture, one small tiny tunnel, but before going inside, the wasp, female wasp, which already has eggs inside its body, have to throw away, disengage its wing. What it meant is that once they enter, he will die inside the fruit. So that is his final day, suicidal. All right. So that is biology. So that biology is study on this is called interspecific relationship. So therefore, if you want to do a PhD, you can look out in this interspecific relationship, whereby the wasps will go inside. So once enter inside, it will lay a few eggs. All right. So the larvae, there are male, there are also female. Female and male. All right. So therefore, this larvae, yeah, eats the flower. Okay. Once eat the flower, they begin to grow inside the fig. And they begin to have wings. So the female and male adult fig grows inside these fruits, pseudo fruits. So when the time that the female has to come out from the aperture after the mating between male and female, he has to come out. But the male cannot come out. The male died inside. So the male actually did not see the light of the world. They always in the dark. It always in the dark. Only the female come out, go to another flower and pollinate another flower. Okay. So this relationship meaning that the fig tree get a service from the wasps, in biology, from the wasps, service of pollination. It's a good to the fig. The wasps get a service from the fig tree because it becomes the habitat for its baby to grow, to live. So this is called mutualism. So therefore, one of the interspecies relationship to study PhD is called mutualism. Okay, everybody get it? All right, I'm going to spend under about 5 more minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, hold on. That's under biology. Now, if you were to look that you are in the entomology, logy means study, entomo means in Greek means insects, the study of insects. So therefore, if you are specialized in entomology, you only study on the wasps. How does it has this relationship? This becomes the subject. This becomes the object. All right. In biology, you can look at both. But if you are in agriculture, okay, you're going to look at the fig because you want to have the fruits. A fruit which can be eaten, which is not spoiled by the baby wasp. By the wasp, understand? So it means that this becomes a nuisance. This becomes a prey. So therefore, we want to get rid of the wasp if you study agriculture. But if you study entomology, you want to study the wasp. You got it? So in agriculture, this becomes the subject. This becomes the object. Opposite from entomology, this becomes the subject. This becomes the object. You got it? Guys, you got it? It's my, hold on.
Very clear, Professor.
Clear? Is it not clear?
Very clear.
Clear, Prof.
Clear, okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear.
Thank you. All right. Okay, now guys, you can study biology, you can study entomology, you can study agriculture. I'm going to tell you one more. Have you heard, if you are a Muslim, I think you have read this surah. Watini wa zaitun wa turi sinin, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yes. So fig is teen. Is one of the fruits mentioned in the Quran. So one of the interpretations, I mean not the only interpretation, I'm going to be careful here. Yeah? One interpretation that I've read, why does fig is being mentioned in that surah? Simply because, like this, if the fruit is not attacked by the wasp, therefore the fruit, when it ripens and it dries, it becomes a sweet fruit. It becomes a sweet fruit. Therefore, people will harvest it and get nutrition from it, benefits as food. Similarly, if you are a good man, right, on this earth, and you serve others, like you are docent, you serve your children well, you are the sweet fruits. Now, on the other hand, if these fruits is spoiled by the larvae, baby of the wasps, it becomes rotten. It becomes useless. It cannot be eaten. Likewise, if you play bad on this earth, okay, you damage people's property, you hurt others, you are like the fig fruit, which has been spoiled by the wasps. Here comes the Islamic theology. Okay, can you see this one?
Clear, Prof.
Thank you. So in Islamic theology, you do not, these are just metaphors. Metaphors, right? Yeah, neither the verbs nor the fruits become the subject. It's a metaphor, meaning that in Islamic theology, we like to look why does it has been used in the example in the Quran. That is the thing. So it's not about study of verbs, it's not study of the faith. You understand? Meaning that these fruits alone, if you put into the study of biology, differs to entomology. If it will differs to agriculture, it will also differs to Islamic theology. What the commonality is here, curiosity. You're curious why it happened that way. That is how you should begin your PhD journey. Right? Then, when you enter into the university, enroll, then you do here the experiment. Okay? You make the experiment 2 semesters, 2 years, right? Then you get a finding. You discover. Okay? So therefore, I would like to advise those who already has their S2 and has the interest to do PhD, that is an inquiry, hold to this, curiosity, exploration, discovery. This discovery is stipulated in your thesis. This experiment will be in the laboratory. If you are in urban planning, you will be in the city. If you are on construction economics, you have to look at the building. All right? All of you all understand? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
How about the right? Hafi, Irwan, you understand?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, thank you. Adinda, you understand?
Yes, Prof.
Thank you. All right. Okay, now I'm going to call upon my colleague, Dr. Lee Yok Lai, who graduated from Tokyo University, Kodai, to post her slides, okay, and then tell her research. So this one, she will spend about 15 minutes. After completing that, she will come back to me. All right? The session will come back to me. Okay?
Okay, Prof.
Thank you. Dr. Yolai, it's yours now.
Yeah, Prof. Mai, I just need the confirmations. After I share my slide in 15 minutes, shall I continue with the open knowledge map, or I will stop first and then I will continue?
The open knowledge map plus your slide is 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right, understand.
So,
Thank you.
need to show the open knowledge map.
All right, okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, good morning everyone. Selamat pagi to all docents. I'm Lee Yok Lai here. So today I would like to share my PhD research topic, study on the evolution of heritage tin mining town, a case of Taiping in Perak. So let me know if my voice is not clear, all right? So to explain on my research, I will introduce on the research background. So the main subject of my research is to study on the mining town or the mining landscape. From the literature studies, I have found that UNESCO have recognized the cultural heritage of industrial site, where there is more than 60 of industrial site have affirmed or recognized by UNESCO World Heritage, and 24 sites are related to the mining industry. Due to my research, because I have completed my PhD in 2016, so I have yesterday have updated this one of the latest mining site recognized by UNESCO, which found at Sumatra, which is the Obilin coal mining heritage site. All right, this is just additional information that I added yesterday. All right. So when we look at the background of mining heritage, we can see that most of the mining site is found in the Europe, North Americans, and Latin Americans, regions. So in Asia, there is only 2 mining sites, which is Iwami Ginzan in Japan, and also the latest one recognized by UNESCO, which is the Obilin coal mining that I mentioned just now. We found in Sumatra. Yeah. Okay. For my studies, my research focused here in Malaysia. So through the histories, I found that the tin industrial is one of the oldest industry that contribute to the socio-economic development in Malaysia. So the study area that I focus is in Perak. Why Perak? Because Perak was the main tin producer in Malaysia during the 18th to 20th centuries. Through the tin mining evolutions, the tin have bring the impacts like urbanization, demographic change, and also the social infrastructures to these Perak states. However, the research gap that I have found, due to the tin mine depleted, the landscape change, we have so to maintain the former mining town become a very challenge, especially in the heritage conservation. So the identified problems in my research, I have found that from the theoretical parts, the landscape change. What you can see here from the figures or the pictures, the intangible, like the buildings, the social infrastructures like the railway tracks is gone. So through the field study as well, especially it's very important for heritage conservation studies, the identify of heritage properties is deteriorated, which means it's gone, yeah? Okay, so for the research aims and objective, the aim of these studies is to identify the evolution of the mining transformation over the time. So the examination of physical and social changes are important in these studies, which means that I have to find out how the impact of the physical and the social change for this ex-mining town. So there are 3 main objectives that I have come out, which is to identify the evolutionary transformation of tin mining town through land use and morphology studies, to investigate the social structures of a mining town, as well as to determine the attributes of a mining town for the future's heritage conservations. Okay, so from the research aim and objective, I have come out with a theoretical frameworks, which is a literature review. So here, literature review is important for us to understand and justify for the research framework, which means that besides I have to determine that what are the theoretical or the important parameters that I have to come out for these studies. So for these subjects, to investigate the evolutionary of heritage mining town or ex-mining town, there are three main subjects that I have to look at, which is the industrial heritage, cultural landscape, or namely as a industrial mining landscape, and also the heritage townscape or colonial townscape. So from here, these parts, you can see that the literature review is also important, where we have to come out with or develop assessment or methodologies. Yeah. So from the right here, I have summarized that through these studies or the research, I have conducted a case study, which I have selected 18 mining town, ST mining town, through the comparative case studies, yeah, through site survey, observation, and review. So besides that, to look at the physical changes and the social impact of this ex-Smith mining town, I also look at on the how to analyze or how to prove or evidence the changes of the landscape that I mentioned. Yeah. So the process that I have conducted or I come up with is to study on the land use mapping, urban morphology, and others tangible and intangibles mapping. All right. So at the end, from the theoretical studies and also the assessment, the methodologies, I come up with the variables, which is I have to understand on the historical development, land use, urban morphology, and also the townscape of this mining town. Okay, for the research findings and conclusions, I have found out the finding is to clarify on the characteristic of the mining town in Malaysia. So the influence of the post-colonial by the British here, when we see that the process of the evolutionary of the physical changes of the mining town is not only on the physical part, but as well as on the intangible part, which is the plural society have formed at this ex-mining town. As well as I also found that there are 4 typologies of mining town, which I can clarify or classify based on the tin town characters, as well as the unique of the heritage in Taiping, which is the first tin town that was built by British during the British colonizations. So when in writing the last chapters of the conclusions, I come out also with the recommendations, because from my studies, I had to investigate the changes of the or the impacts of the ex-mining town. The recommendation is very important, which we have to contribute to our in the research or the studies. So the recommendation here, which helps, is to enhance or to improve on the heritage conservations. So I have suggested that the heritage core zone boundary should be modified, which to include the important tangible and intangible heritage, to preserve the post-colonial townscape, protect the natural landscape as well, not only to look at the tangible asset, but to look at also the qualities of the mining landscape. Yeah. So besides that, education and awareness also important. So in my conclusions or the findings also, I come out with these illustrations of the model to show that the landscape or the tin mining landscape of the Taiping in Perak is formed by the importance attribute here, which is the colonial townscape, the industrial heritage, and also the cultural landscape. All right. I have finished the part of my PhD research. So next, I will share with you a research trend map, a landscape architecture research trend maps. Okay, so these trend maps is in the field of landscape architecture studies. The presenting of these indicators that you can see from the B, C, D, E, F, which is people-place relations, urban planning and people well-being, landscape ecology and ecosystem services, art and urbanism, heritage landscape and architectures, education and curriculum, and the landscape technologies. So these indicators that I have present here is based on the a PhD or the master graduate under the supervisions by the landscape architecture department in UTM. Yeah, so you can see the trend of the or major subject that is studied right now. At the end of the research, you can see that they are mainly contribute to human well-being and ecosystem health. All right. Okay. Next, I will move to open knowledge map. Okay. I would like all the audience. You can browse to. You can type here open knowledge map. So you can open knowledge. You just type open knowledge map. I think I would demonstrate to you. Let me stop this slide first. Okay, you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, just type
Yes.
open knowledge map. I will give you 1 minute if you can type and browse to this website. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So this open knowledge map, I will basically explain that is easier. It's easy to help you to find a topic, a current topic that your interest, that you would like to do your PhD studies or your research. So it will come later when you key in a keywords or a concept, or they call it as a concept. You can see that how the how of this subject matter of the keywords that related to the current trend of the research. So beside this is we can see that also from this knowledge map, there is also a single discipline and relate to the multidisciplinary field. All right, let's have a try. Okay, I will start with the, let's say I would like to search from for urban farming. So you can type your keywords as well, your research interest topic or concept.
Yes.
Just click on go. So once you click on the go, and then you can see that the searchings of the urban farming topic or the concept in this open knowledge interface. In PhD studies, I think it's very important. You have to come out, especially when you prepare your research intent or proposal, you come out with a keywords, yeah. Okay, it will take time sometimes to search. Everyone, are you okay with that? I believe you are searching also, right?
I guess let's give our participants means a few minutes to try out. Yeah, Dr. Lee.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And perhaps we can also ask them to share the slides, their slides.
Yes. Yeah.
Their screen, not slides. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have done mine. So from the search just now, I key in urban farming, right? So you can see here on the right, this is the diagrams. Urban farming, the trend of current studies. And as I said just now, it's not just one discipline. So we can see a multidisciplinary here on this field related to urban farming. On the right here, well, you can see that if you're interested to look at this study, let's say farming as a livelihood source for the urban poor of Nakuru, Kenya. So you can click on this, yeah. Please take note as well, some of the papers or the open access paper here, some are you are able to access, some is not. So that is why you have to look at the open access here will be will written like this, open access, which are free, so you can download in the PDF formats. Yeah. For this, like these, some of the paper only you can find the link, so you have to search from others website or the journals. Yeah. All right. I think that's all from me. Any questions? If you would like to ask on this open knowledge map, or perhaps you can share with us. Anyone would like to share? Maybe one or two of you, so we can see that what is your interest.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Perhaps
anyone?
Hediati, do you want to share with
Stop
us?
first.
Kanya, or how do we pronounce it? Chania. Kanya. Kanya.
Kanya, yes.
Do you want to share with us?
Yeah.
It's okay, no pressure. Kan Dr. Lee?
Yes. Kanya, I think you mute your microphone. Anything that you want to say? Okay. No volunteers.
Well, we have a small, participants. Reza, is that your son, Reza?
Yes, that's my son.
Aduh, dedikasinya terbaik sekali ni. Halo.
Halo tuh.
Ini calon S3 ya? S3?
Iya, sekarang saya sedang S3 di Busan, Korea Selatan.
Oke. Yang calonnya itu sebelah itu calon S3 juga.
Oh, this one, yes.
So Reza, you are doing your PhD in first year or second year now?
For now is the first year. Yeah.
So I think you are doing your research studies right now, right?
Yes, I'm doing my research study related to the disaster management.
Oh, disaster management. I see.
That's great.
Yeah. So are you familiar with this open knowledge map?
No, I think this is my first time using these open knowledge maps.
Oh, okay. Reza, can you show us your
if
search
you don't
on...
mind, yes.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. Can you please just share?
Actually, I am using my handphone.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's fine.
It will take some minutes. I will try to use this for a while.
All right. Okay. I think the audience, you don't hesitate if you have any question to ask us on this open knowledge map.
Come on, ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak.
May I share?
Oh yes, please.
Yes.
Siapa itu?
Yes,
Siapa yang
please.
berkata-kata itu?
Yeah.
Saya nak berkata.
Asmoro.
Talo.
Oh, okay.
Amandus.
Okay.
I searched about human settlement and I find 47 open access paper and 100 most relevant document. It's very related about in China's settlement, environment, science and remote sensing. It's very, and I was trying to open access and if I find the link, I will to be deep searching again.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, you're right.
Terbaik, bagus sekali Talo.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So after this, I think through this open knowledge map, you can write your research proposal or prepare your research proposal. It's more in advance, yeah. All right. I think that's all from me. If you have any questions, you can type in the chat box so we can assist you and reply or respond your questions. All right. Thank you for my parts. So back to Prof. Ismail.
Okay. Dr. Yola, before we go to my slide, can you open back the trend research map?
Yes, Prof.
Top note, yeah.
Yep. Okay, Prof.
Okay. Participants, when we look at this trend map of landscape architecture research in my department, in landscape architecture department, we see that people place relationship is the biggest circle. The reason is that there are 27 research PhDs, very few from masters that doing research on people-place relationship. One of it under that category is called child-friendly environment. Another is number 4, restorative environment. But in child-friendly environment alone, which started in 2006 in my department, so we already now have acquired about 15 PhD students, graduates and students who are doing on child-friendly environment. So this research is quite important in Malaysia and also in Southeast Asia, including in Indonesia. Particularly that Solo was declared by UNICEF as the most child-friendly environment cities in Southeast Asia, in ASEAN. Okay, that is 2009. At that time, I presented my research here, for which that Pak Jokowi was the mayor of Solo. All right, thank you. So now, China, can you open my slides?
Yes, sure, Prof.
Okay, let me continue about 20 minutes. Then after this, we will call upon Dr. Faradiba to post her research. All right. So initiating PhD inquiry, this is a journey of you to become a scholar. Example here, I put Imam Abu Hanifah. He's a great scholar. So we are thankful to ITIRA for hosting this program, workshop. Next slide. Okay. Next slide. All right. I would like to use the example that has been done at my department, landscape architecture. So number 2, 3, and 4, those are being done in my department. All right. But number 1, behavior-based model and simulation for spatial analysis in architecture design. This is a colleague of mine who is a professor at ITB now, who studied at Shibaura Institute of Technology. Next, please. Okay. Let me begin by looking at the research of Dr. Aswin Indraprastha. This research completed in 2008. How does Aswin begin the research on behavioral-based model? All right. So now I'd like you all to look at my whiteboard. So Chania, can you show my whiteboard? All right. Thank you, Chania. Do I call your name right, Chania?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Are you asli orang Lampung?
No, I'm Japanese actually.
You are Japanese?
Yeah, Javanese, Javanese.
Javanese. Orang Jawa ya.
Orang Jawa.
Orang ya, suku Jawa ya. Saya mau cari, okay, hold on guys.
Tapi Chan ya, tahu tak tadi kenapa Prof itu terdengar seperti Jepun tu, Japanese, right? Because Prof recently sudah ada campuran Japanese actually.
Alright. Okay, here guys. If this is a room, hold on guys. Then it has windows. Yeah, window 1, window 2, window 3, window 4. Can you all see? Can you all see clear?
Clear. Yes.
All right, good. Okay, now let's deal with this. This is how Dr. Aswin started his research. When he presented his PhD, 125 slides. I'm not kidding. 3 hours Viva. Presentation alone, not the question answer yet. But every single one of them attended well. Okay. So if this is the door for which that you enter, then you situated yourself here. Can you all see that? The rate here?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Let's say we name this guy Talo. Okay. You see that in his study on behavior of a person situated in a room, it will link itself, relate itself with the door and the windows. Okay. Okay. Let's say now I'm going to erase this window. These are all walls. There's no windows. All right. So therefore, he will relate to this and this window. Correct? Right? He positioned it himself. That is the theory of it. When this theory has been done, as early as 1970s. Hold on. Now, let's say I open one more window. 2 more window, window 2, window 3, window 4. Therefore, his position will change. Therefore, he began to shift. Perhaps here. You see? So therefore, his position is also related to this. You got it? Now, let me open one more door here. Therefore, his position changed again. From here, maybe shifted to here, and then relate to this. You can see that? Correct? And then, let's say another person, his name is Luhut, come over and join Talo. Luhut. Then there's another person come over here. When there are crowd, their position will change. Just now alone, they refer to when they are in the crowd, they also change it. So this is a behavior research. So now come back to the slide. China, can you post the slide? Okay. Next slide, please. Next. Okay. So in order to deal with this research, his supervisor said that I never come across such a beautiful question, why a room need doors and windows, and how a person situate himself in that room. So Shinozaki, is a friend of mine, said that, wow, there is such a basic fundamental question, and yet I never come across my mind to do it. So he said to Aswin, go to Tsukuba University and talk to Professor Watanabe, which is in column 80s. You see that column 80s, Watanabe? So when he visited Watanabe, who is doing research on behavior and automata, that is in the 80s, right? He's now retired. He said that, I think you need to do a research trend map, as what just now Dr. Lee Yoke Lai showed you. This is his research trend map, for which that he studies on understanding crowd, which has been studied in the 70s, on introducing AI, artificial intelligence, already started in 80s, and crowd modeling. In 90s, he studied on interaction and emotion-based systems. And in the 90s, he studied on crowd dynamics in the year 2000. So therefore, he completed his PhD 2008. Therefore, in this last column, in the 90s, in the 2000, he able to be there enough, brave enough to put his name inside this circle. Why? He found the answer for it, in which it's been displayed in his PhD thesis. Here he called it dissertation. All right. So what I'm going to bring you all, guys, is that in the initial inquiry, you need to read, and you read. Then you need to write. Here comes the writing. Right? You write what you have discovered in 70s, 80s, 90s, year 2000. Right. Okay. So begin with the open knowledge map shown by Dr. Lee Yoke Lai. You can start that to get access of articles and begin to read. Don't read once. At times, we have to read more than 3 times per paper, per article, per chapter. Okay, next slide, please. Therefore, when he finalized his study, he found that my study is a small, but related to one big umbrella, spatial analysis. Under that, there is one thing that he has to study, network analysis. This spatial analysis actually is a subset of a bigger circle, architectural design. Under that, he has to look at ergonomic and anthropometric. Therefore, when you review large plethora, a raft of articles from journals, chapter of books from handbooks and textbooks, you can come with this trend map. This trend map is presented by Dr. Ashwin during his Viva Voce at SIT, Tokyo. Next. Okay. Here come the river settlement. I heard from Talo, he is studying about settlement. Let me share this research by my first PhD student from Palembang, Dr. Widya Francisca Fabriati Anwar. Right? She is now the Deputy Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Unsri. Okay. Here, rebuilding identity, I think many of you all who from Lampung might have been to Palembang. Correct? Is it right or wrong?
Yes, right.
Okay. Okay. Who said yes just now? What is the biggest element, natural element in Palembang if you go to Palembang?
Musi River.
Yes, thank you. Who you are?
I'm Chania, sir.
Chania, okay. Thank you. I couldn't recognize your voice. Okay. So Musi River. So when Widya, who is a Palembangese, asked this question, what actually the identity of Palembang? What actually the identity of Palembang? That is her inquiry. She begin with to know what actually is Palembang. Even I am born here. What is the actual identity? Therefore, she went to Kampung Ilir, where there are Kampung Suro, Kampung Ilir 16, and another kampung, which resided the Malays, the native of Palembang. Obviously, when she put up the question, this is part of the inquiry, to the Malays of in Ilir of Sungai Musi, posed the question, what is identity of Palembang? Oh, none other than us, because we are native. Look at our architecture and layout of the buildings and the road system and the jetty along the Sungai Musi. However, Vidya doesn't stop there. She go across the river, go to the Ulu side, where the immigrants, the Chinese and the Arab resided. Previously, they would not be allowed to reside on the land. So most of their houses are floated houses on Sungai Musi. But being Chinese, they are good in the business. They're able to support the financial system of the Sultan. And being a knowledgeable person, the Arabs able to teach, become teachers for the people. Eventually, the Sultan allowed them to stay on land. So when Dr. Vidya went to see them, asked people from Kampung Kapitan, Chinese settlement, river settlement, and found that what is the identity of Palembang? Hey, don't look at others, look at us, our architecture, our layout. The same answer as what given by the Malay. Proceed to Kampung Al-Munawar, the Arabs, the same question and the same answer. So that became her journey on to identify the identity of Palembang. So when look at this, she is looking on a big picture. The big picture is urban morphology of Palembang. The big picture is urban morphology. Therefore, when you look at these slides, the centerpiece, the nucleus is rebuilding city identity. But that is being related to urban morphology, environmental psychology, conservation and preservation. Then all those references are the main references. Not only not only this, that these are the main for which that she used it in her study on rebuilding identity of Palembang using urban morphology. The next slide, please. Okay, I want to skip this. This is okay. Now, this is quite difficult to read because it's small. Now, this is my current student at Ground Innovation. She is from Pawero Taman in Jogja. I think if you have been to Jogja, you know that Pawero Taman is a tourist where tourists stay in homestay and hotel. So yes. When she asked, her name is Tika Anissa, when she asked, what is the impact of tourism to Pawero Taman, right? Which is one of the Wisata village in city of Jogja. So she began to read. When she began to read, she found three things that need to look at: structure, districts and territory, and buildings. Under that, on the left-hand side, you see the social space forming components, that is structure, then social network, that is territory, community capacity, both territory and building, then forming process. You see, to come to this, it took her more than 2 semesters to read, then begin to write. This is a part of the writing. Now, she is collecting the data at Pawero Taman for the past 3 months to measure the structure, district and territory, and buildings. For which that, she will get the answer on social activity pattern of people in this Pawero Taman affected by the tourism industry. Next slide, please. All right. So I'd like to also share some of the study done by my research group. This is from Batu Kalo Municipality Council in Sri Lanka. He is Madan Raju, who is about to present his research proposal very soon. So therefore, if you look at this, the big picture here is urban sprawl. The big picture here is urban sprawl. Hold on, the cat is coming to my room. Hold on, I'm going to chase it away. Sorry for that hiccup. All right. So in this, he begin to look at, you see the heading there, build up changes, socio-economic factors, urban sprawl prediction model. So that urban sprawl prediction model will be one of his research outcome. Okay. So how you get this? He had to read a plethora, a raft, a pool of literature. This is where, when you do PhD, you get to read a lot. Next slide, please. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read this for you all first. All right. But after this, I will call upon Dr. Diba, Farah Diba, to present her PhD research. Okay. Let me read this one. Once you already engaged, I said just now, inquiry, you at the door, at the gate of the university. At UTM, we have a gate, big gate. You cannot enter yet because you have not paid your fee yet, right? So now you pay your fee, you enter the university. Now you are in part of the journey. So we call you scholar in the making. All right. So to do this, you get to read the finding of relevant past studies. In my research, generally, I will ask my student in my research group, when doing PhD, you need to read more than 250 articles, chapters in books, 250. I have one student who graduated quite recently on child-friendly environment. He read about 450. Currently, I have one more student who is doing on Kano Palace conservation. He has to review 700 articles. 700 articles. All right. So it is an intellectual path to discover new things. Look at the word discover, as I showed you just now, right? Curiosity, exploration, discovery. Discovery is in your thesis. So I give here, for example, one of my early students, Professor Zalina, her discovery on role of alun-alun, Padang, as a public open space that deserves to be conserved according to the value of the patron, the locals that regularly visited the field, such as one alun-alun in Malacca, and the other alun in Georgetown. So what is her finding? The visitors, the locals, valued open space as their place. You see, it's easy to put here their place, but to understand the meaning of their place took Dr. Zalina 7 semesters. 7 semesters to define the meaning of their place. From who? From the local. How to get it? You have to stay with them. Okay. Her findings strongly suggest that this is a finding that Padang is a heritage domain in Malaysian town. Okay, and cities that deserve to be conserved as a public space. Therefore, this study contributes that if you want to look the values of Padang, you need to search from the perspective, perceptions, notions, nuances from the local residents. This is what PhD is. All right, thank you. I will get back to you once Dr. Farah completes her presentation. So now, therefore, I call Dr. Farah Diba to present your slides for the audience. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation really from ITS. It is indeed actually house care, what do you call, an honor to all of us really from UTM team. Okay, I hope you can see my slide now. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. D. Okay, right. I would like to share a very quickly for my research. Okay, this is actually an ongoing research at the moment. It's actually from FRGS, means funded by our Ministry of Education. So, okay, the title is Modeling Transaction Cost Economics Evaluation in Housing Development. Okay, the problem is because houses in Malaysia, actually the prices is very expensive, and to an extent actually it's beyond reach by the locals. Okay, so that is the main query of this ongoing research. Actually it started with this Maslow basic theory, because actually humans basic need, if you actually notice the lowest part is actually the psychological need, the safety needs, meaning actually they need the shelter. Okay, but the thing is, there are many people, especially in Malaysia, struggle to afford a house. Okay, because the mismatch between the affordability and the housing prices in Malaysia. And to an extent, in certain states in Malaysia, it's actually to an extreme level. Because generally, the household incomes among Malaysians is around this M40 media range. Okay, so they earn around 60,000 per year, 80,000 per year. But the houses actually in Malaysia, the prices is in average around 300,000, 400,000. So the monthly to pay these houses, if it is now, they need to actually pocket out, means they need to take out from their money around 1,800, 1,300 per month, where they are actually earning around 4,000 plus per month in average. So this is where the mismatch actually happens. So in Malaysia, to afford a house is actually a luxury items nowadays. So that's why my research actually, I look from the perspective on the transaction costs, because actually I'm from construction economics, so we actually more concerned on the costings, right? So we want to know whether why the houses actually is expensive. So we want to know. So I look from the perspective of the transaction cost economics, because transaction costs is actually are the costs incurred from the transactions of the activities in the construction industry. So I am looking at the overall process of developing a house. Okay, so this is actually from the macro perspective, macroeconomic perspective. Okay, so from the findings actually from the literature review, because Dr. Lee has actually highlighted the importance of literature review, okay, at the very beginning of your research. So we found out that actually the main reasons, one of the main reasons why the houses in actually Malaysia is very expensive is due to many government policies. Okay, because government set some policies, and then not only the policies, but also the process. If you notice here, this is one-stop center whereby every developer need to go by the process, and not only that, they need to actually all these permits, all the planning permission authorities, but also they need to pay the charges, the fee charges. If you notice, the stages of the development here, as I highlighted here, before construction, during construction, and after construction. So in total, they need to apply at least 10 applications, and then they need to pay the charges and fee contributions around 13%. Okay, so this is actually very expensive. So this is one of the major contributions to why the houses in Malaysia is expensive. Okay, I showed you my open knowledge map on transaction cost economics. Okay, as you can see, actually the sprawl of the informations, actually it started from the origins of the TCE itself, and then actually it's how means people go about actually and find and study more on it, and not only in the construction economics, construction industry per se, but in other aspects as well. Okay, so if you notice this one, Okay, I look into what actually is the similar previous research on TCE itself. You can see here, actually it looks into the institution area, into the firm management area, in the housing policies, sustainable development, construction. So basically this is actually where I got the idea where I need to focus on and actually study the root cause of this problem. Okay, so from this, actually I managed to come up with my research objective. Okay, so if you can see the first one, identify components of the transaction costs, within the pre and post construction, and then to quantify it, to see to an extent what are not only the components, but also to quantify how much it impacted the total development costs in housing Malaysia, in housing development in Malaysia. Okay, so the theoretical framework of this research is actually a combination of transaction cost economics, the RIBA plan of work. Okay, for those my architects friends here, okay, right? This RIBA plan of work is actually a standardized process. So we need to come with a similar process. So that means so that we can actually quantify the same items of the process. Okay, so for this research, we actually I use Delphi method. Okay, actually it's a combination of quantitative and qualitative research, because basically from construction economics perspective, we need to cover from both perspectives. So because if we were to go only from the quantitative part, it means it tend to be biased. So it's usually for construction economics research, most of the research is best to conduct mixed method. Okay, so this one actually I don't want to delve more on this. Actually, it's a Delphi method. We can have a chit chat after this if you guys are interested. So and then this is actually the research methodology framework. You need to actually set what your objective is, your data collection, what is the instruments, the analysis method that you want to actually do for each of the research objective, and your expected finding. Okay, once you have this, you will have a clear idea of what you need to study. So the research objective, okay, this is actually the output from the RIBA Plan of Work 2013. Okay, so we actually find out what are the typical housing development activities, right? So, and then this is actually where we conducted the pilot study. And then just to confirm, what is the transaction cost components within the housing development in Malaysia? Okay, so we have actually from our literature review, we found out 26 transaction cost components. Okay, this is from literature review only. But during our actually what it calls data collection pilot study, we identified actually 4 more transaction costs. Meanings, this is why actually this actually in a way further strengthens the idea of why the housing cost is very expensive, because there are many activities within the planning itself, the planning permission itself. Okay, we need to quantify this. And then how do we go about in quantifying this transaction cost is by first looking at the people, the process, and then to quantify it in terms of the resources, humans, and of course the time, and when we try to put it into monetary factor. Okay, so basically that is my ongoing research all about. Okay, if you find it interesting, because this is actually still in the process. So the next stage, we will quantify the activities, and then we can actually further deduce whether the planning permissions did contribute most to why the houses in Malaysia is very expensive. Okay, thank you so much, Prof. So do you want me to share the knowledge map for the construction economics?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, lovely. All right, okay. To my friends here, okay, ibu-ibu, bapak-bapak, ya. Okay, for construction economics, atau if it's in Malaysia, is known as quantity surveyor ataupun juru korbahan. Okay, and to an extent in America, is known as cost engineer. Okay, pertama sekali memang kami ni mata duitan ya Bu, Papa. Mata duitannya maksudnya duit sahaja. Okay, namun apa yang kami bukan itu saja, but we also look into not only the buildings. Tadi Prof ada sebut buildings, okay, but we look into the activities in developing the building. So semua kos-kos yang terlibat kami perhatikan, kami monitor, dan kami pastikan budgetnya tak lebih, ya. So kalau lihat di sini, Okay, kami ada pecahkan pre-contract dan juga post-contract. Maksud dia dalam penggubalan mana-mana bangunan itu sendiri, okay, you perlu ada proses. Tapi during the construction juga ada prosesnya. Jadi kami pecahkan pre and juga post-contract. Okay, so kalau bapak-bapak lihat di sini, sebenarnya dia besar. Kerana bila construction economics itu, economics ini is about your everyday life, your everyday choice. Really. So how you choose to, what you choose today. So kalau di sini bapak-bapak juga ibu-ibu boleh lihat. Okay, pertama kuantitinya cost. Kalau di sini kan aspek di atas ini kebanyakannya cost. Labor economics juga termaktub dalam construction economics. Kalau bapak-bapak mau melihat, bagaimana sesuatu proses itu harganya mahal, kita boleh lihat dari sudut labor. Okay, dari segi sudut planning juga. Okay, because construction economics, kita lihat juga planning itu. Because planning itu perlu kadang-kadang kalau dalam construction industry terlalu banyak benda yang item aspek yang surprising. And because kalau kita korek tanah, kita fikirkan dalam itu tak ada masalah. Tapi bila kita korek-korek, rupanya ada jumpa air. So kalau kawan-kawan saya yang engineer di sini ya, ibu-ibu bapa-bapa, kalau kita jumpa air dah kita tak boleh buat construction to that particular site. We need to find another site ataupun we need to find solution as how to go about to solve that problem. So banyak benda elemen yang surprise dalam construction industry. That's why planning itu penting. Okay, dan salah satu lagi ibu-ibu bapa-bapa kena tahu juga bila kita berkontrak, kadang-kadang kontrak itu ada perkelahian. Okay, yang dilukisnya sebegini tapi yang terjadinya sudah lain. Jadi itu perlu ada kontrak. Okay, sebab kerana construction cost itu bukan murah. Setiap projek untuk buat rumah bukannya murah. Jadi akan berlaku perkelahian. Okay, dan juga lagi satu perlu ada polisi. Because kalau apa-apa perundangan itu perlu ada polisinya. Okay, supaya semua orang boleh ikut sama dan setuju. Melihat dari pergi sudut the whole process development. So kami ini sebenarnya construction economics ini, kami ini seperti accountant, sepertinya lawyer, sepertinya apa lagi ya? So basically this is what we do. Okay? Tapi ada satu lagi yang kalau saya suka tekankan di sini. Okay, sekarang ini sebenarnya ada trend BIM. Okay, Building Information Modeling. Di mana sekarang ini kebanyakan drawing ini kalau tuan-tuan bapak-bapak dan ibu-ibu arkitek kan dilukis secara soft copy. Okay, so this is where BIM ini comes into construction economics as well. Okay, so bila lihat perkara yang sama kerana kalau kita buat BIM dia ada juga aspek legalnya. Itu kadang-kadang ada pertikaian juga ya. Kerana kalau sudah di draw itu siapa yang milik siapa hasil drawing itu, arkitek ataupun bila arkitek sudah diberikan pada klien, adakah klien punya milik klien. Jadi itu perlu juga dilihat. Dari segi teknologinya, okay, kita lihat dari segi apakah itu software dan juga hardware. Because BIM, Building Information Modeling di Malaysia dia sudah semakin mantul gitu. Dia makin mantap ya, sudah makin advance. Kalau dulu banyak baru tahu kebaikannya, tapi jadi ada banyak pertikaian kerana tak ada konsensus, tak ada satu basis yang sama. Sekarang in Malaysia kita sudah ada satu basis, jadi kebanyakan orang sedang appoint di Building Information Modeling. Untuk kawan-kawan arkitek saya, dia pakai Revit, AutoCAD, dan kita ada banyak-banyak software lagi. Kalau yang kami, Construction Economics, kami ada Glodon, kami ada Cubicos dan juga kami ada CosX. So, yang penting bapak-bapak, nak katakan ibu-ibu, sebenarnya apa-apa research yang saya belajar dari Prof. Ismail, really, sebenarnya kita ada integration. Tidak semestinya landscape architect memang purely untuk lihat pokok saja, macam student Prof, dia banyak study because from even the camel respiratory punya system and actually adopt it into a building to make it cool. So ini sahaja yang saya nak sharekan untuk construction economics. Ya, ibu-ibu, bapa-bapa. Okay, Prof.
Thank you. Ya. Wah, kamu sudah boleh ngajar di ITB ni. Alright, thank you. Okay, Chania, can you go back to my slides? Okay, it's my slides. Chania, all right. Can you scroll down? Further down, further down, further down, further down. I want to see the slides of my student. Down, down, down. Ah, here. All right. Thank you, guys. Dr. Farah did mention on my student. I'd like to share this. This student graduated almost a year ago. She is now back to her country, Yemen. All right. Her research is in architecture. This research is on biomimetic architecture. Some people call biomimicry. Bio means living, mimicry means copy. Copy the living. Here, copy the animals. Right. So here, biometric for passive air condition. Why air condition? Why passive air condition? Because this city, example here in this picture is San Yun, is 47 degrees centigrade in summer. All right. Therefore, if you to use AC, therefore, I think the people will go bankrupt paying for the electricity. With that concern, being a desert city, therefore, Dr. Amataraul Abdullah think on this passive air condition. But passive air condition has been studied in many areas. But she like to look on biomimetic architecture. So therefore, she is doing on the subject of passive air conditioning architecture design. That is subject, right? What is the location? What is the suitableness? What is the milieu? What is the setting? What is the context? Hot, arid region. Hot, arid region. All right? Okay. Now proceed. Next slide. Okay. Just to show you here. So in order to do this research, okay, Chania, can you show my whiteboard? Okay. Share the whiteboard. Okay, guys. All right. Can you see this one? Experiment?
Yes.
Thank you.
Clear.
All right. Talo, can you see it? Jing Jin Wong, Luhut, Rizky, Reza, Asri. Can you see this?
Yes, Prof.
So this research of Dr. Amataraul is an experiment. Yeah, because in research there are exploratory, there are experiment. Under the experiment, there are quasi-experiment. Right? Which is simulation in case of Amataraul simulation. All right. Then even there are, we call descriptive research. I think for those who like to do on river settlement, your research can be this descriptive, or sometimes we call narrative. Right? All right. So once you enter the gate of the university, you learn this. Okay. Now it's just to show you what you're going to get through. So with Dr. Amataraul, she starts with simulation first using NBMAT and another software which I do not know, but she is very independent student. She able to learn by herself. Okay. But once it's done, she going to verify the result from this result from the simulation using NBMAP software. She going to verify on ground that is in the city of San Yun, 47 degrees centigrade during midsummer. All right. So she went there, bring all her instrument from Malaysia, for which that she bought it from Alibaba.com. then bring a package of them to San Yun. Thermometer, air temperature, and many others. I've forgotten some of the instruments she has done. She brought it there. Okay. Then she do a real, we call field experiment. Therefore, she got two set of data. Data A, R, data B. Right. Then she make comparisons. Is there any difference? Okay, I'm going to show you whether that's different or not. Okay, can you come back to the slides? The slides, Chania. Above, the one before. The one before. Okay, you see, this is the field experiment. When the San Yun construct this, her difficulty is this. Her country is at war. Therefore, to access is not easy. There's no direct flight. She has to go to Oman, take a car, go to the border dangerously, then able to cross to San Yun. Build this in the heat, then construct it on a restaurant near the airport. Why? The reason is that she need to get real data from the meteorological station, which is only existed at the airport. The airport actually is still functioning, but very few flights. Okay, so with that, she construct this and measure it. So when you measure it, as the air come from this wind tower, from the top of the roof, enter into this chamber, yeah, go down, and it been cooled down by wet felt of gunny sacks. This wet felt. Then from the temperature of 47, when it goes through this wet felt, that is a testing station cooling units, and the temperature into the room, it goes to 27. So there's a drop from 47 to 27, 20 degrees drop using this. When she did her simulation using MVMAC in the lab, she found exactly the same what she found on the site. Exactly the same. Then she published her research, published her paper and published her thesis. Okay, complete her thesis. This is a research. This is called experimental research. Okay, you got guys? Okay, one more slide. Can you go next, Chania? All right. So guys, I'd like to bring one more here. This research whereby many of my students are in this children's environment. Currently, I still have 5 of them about to submit their thesis. You see, under children's environment, is so broad environment research area that how many disciplines we have? Architecture, sociology, children's geography, health and place, environmental psychology, ecological planning, geography and economy, urban planning, land use planning, transport, artwork, connective psychology. Many. This is where I said earlier that when you read, and again you read, you get this. That is why when you enter into the gate of the university, sit in your laboratory or sit in your workstation, you need to spend 8 hours a day. I repeat, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. 5 days a week. Liburnya sedikit aja nanti. Why? PhD is a sacrifice. PhD is a sacrifice. Can you go next slide? This, okay, before I call Dr. Aminah. Okay, as I showed just now on the behavioral of people in the room, as shown by Dr. Aswin, right? That his supervisor asked to draw up this trend research map. So I did to one of my students. Her name is Sarah. So she looked at literatures from 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, 5 decades. Then able she to compose what I like to do. So her research is on ecological literacy of children when they engage with everyday nature in their village environment. That study is little in Asia, in Southeast Asia. So the gap is that few studies is being conducted on nature learning for children in Southeast Asia, particularly in Malaysia. Thank you. All right. Now I call upon our last crew here, Dr. Aminah from Lab Inspiration. So show your slides of your PhD, then show the research framework.
All right. All right, thank you, Prof. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to everyone. All right, so can Lutfi share my slide?
Yes, of course.
Not yet.
All right. Okay, everyone can see my slide?
Yes, please let you.
All right. Okay, this is, I just want to share shortly about my PhD research. Okay, I just completed my PhD 2016. Okay, this is my topic, restructuring the concept of saham wakaf and wakaf saham in Malaysia. Okay, my name is Aminah binti Mohsin. I'm from Real Estate Department, Faculty of Built Environment and Surveying, University Technology Malaysia, Skudai, Johor. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so why wakaf? Everyone, I think, familiar with the word wakaf, right? So for the just a short definition of the wakaf, wakaf is you have to donate your property or asset for the to give the benefit for welfare. All right, so why I choose the topic wakaf? So this one, my supervisor, all right, the first personal reason why I choose this topic, because I want to learn English for better conversation, all right, because my supervisor is from international, so I forced myself to find a supervisor from international to speak in English. All right, so when I meet him, my supervisor just mentioned, okay, you do the topic wakaf. So that's come curiosity to me, what are the current issue related to the wakaf. So I have to find out what are the current issue related to the wakaf. Okay, so there are many issues related to wakaf, wakaf database, wakaf laws, wakaf location, wakaf registration issues, wakaf encroachment issues, and wakaf finance issues. So there are many issues here. So when I go deeper and when I want to choose which one issue that I want to cover in my PhD, so I just look at the previous research. I found that wakaf finance less research compared to all the issues, database, laws, location, registration, and encroachment. So I choose wakaf finance to be my research. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so for wakaf finance, I have to find out, I have to explore deeper what are the current method that wakaf institution use to increase their liquid fund, to raise their fund, okay, to develop the wakaf property. If you can see here that there are so many methods of, there's so many methods that wakaf institution use to increase their fund, all right, so I categorized by 3: capital raising, financial method that the wakaf institution borrowed from bank, and investment. Okay, so there are 3 categories that wakaf institution currently use to increase their liquid fund. So from this table, you can see here there is so many citation here. During my PhD, I didn't know about the open knowledge map, so I just do the manual. All right. So from this financial method, I just choose 2: saham wakaf and wakaf saham. All right. Why I choose these 2? Because I found that saham wakaf and wakaf saham are the method that I can improve. All right, I can improve their current concept to give the adequate liquid fund to the wakaf institution. So here, my aim of my study is to restructure the current framework of saham wakaf and wakaf saham in order to achieve adequate liquid funds for wakaf project. Okay, so when I choose this both method, so I have to study what are the current restriction of the current concept. So I found that the current restriction is the saham wakaf and wakaf saham didn't give continuous liquid fund to the wakaf institution. Alright, so my aim of study is to give continuous liquid fund to assist wakaf institution to increase or to give continuous liquid fund for assist them to develop wakaf property. Alright, so next. Alright, so this is outcome of my research. Alright, I'm using a qualitative research design. Alright, so I already I interview for wakaf institution that use saham wakaf and wakaf saham. Alright, only 4 that wakaf institution that currently use saham wakaf and wakaf saham. Okay, if you can see here, this one, the small box here. Alright, this one is the old concept of the saham wakaf. When I restructure the concept, so this become this one. Okay, so my output here, the aim is I want to give the continuous liquid fund, adequate liquid fund to the wakaf institution. The same thing here. So I have my outcome have two conceptual framework. One's for saham wakaf, and the second one is the wakaf saham. Okay, this small box here, the old concept of wakaf saham, and I already detailed about the restriction of the wakaf saham, and I improve or restructure the concept, and outcome is like this. All right, so the new conceptual framework of saham wakaf and wakaf saham. All right, so I think Prof just finished share my PhD research,
Okay,
so I can continue.
Framework.
Tremax. All right. Okay, guys, if you are interested to do next slide, please. All right. So if you're interested to do land administration and development, so there are so many topics you can cover in land administration and development. All right. So you can see here there are theory and practice, technology and application. All right. So in the land administration and development, you can study about the land ownership issues, land development issues, land economic issues, land governance, land information is so many issues. Okay, if you want to study about the land administration. Alright, if you want to study about the technology, okay, we have GIS, geoinformation, that is related to the how the land management, the database of land. Alright, for example, I'm doing my degree on the technology, the determination of the landfill by using the GIS application. Okay. Now, the determination of the solid waste landfill by using GIS application. All right, so that one is you can also cover in the land administration and development research Tremax. All right, for the applications, you can study about the land valuation, you can study about the rural land management, urban planning, you can study about the Islamic land law, wakaf land development. Okay, as my study in PhD, customary land law, spatium, stratum, climate change. All right, these are the topic that you can cover under the land administration and development. Okay, Prof.
Yeah.
I think I just shared everything. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, back to me. All right. Meaning that actually when you hear from Farah, when you hear from Amina, hear from Liuk Lai, you see that actually research is not just within one circle, right? It should be overlapped. It should be crossed to others. Okay. For example, let me give you one example here. Can you post to my? Yeah. Thank you. One example. Okay, I like to show my PhD. This is many years ago, 2006. I ended it. All right. In my PhD, I have the big circle. The big picture here. The big picture is called under restorative environment. Right? Restorative environment. But within this restorative environment, my research, my discipline is here. Landscape architecture. However, when I reviewed 385 articles, right? I based my research on 385 articles, okay? I found that there are other disciplines. Since my research is restorative environment, for which that it looks at garden as a restorative environment for hospitalized students, I'm going to write now here. Garden as restorative environment for hospitalized children. Surely you understand that this, the location, the milieu, the setting, the context, the situatedness of my research is in hospital. Okay, is in the ward plus the garden outside the ward. So the garden become the subject of my research, which is I use the big picture restorative environment. Okay, all right. So within that, I found first I need to read on healthcare management. Then I associate with hospital architecture. Then I associate with nursing, pediatric nursing. With nursing, I have to read another area. It's called pediatric psychology. It took me 1 semester to understand what is pediatric nursing, plus pediatric psychology, 1 semester. I have to read many on this. Okay. Then there are other under human geography. Okay, here. Then another one here. This is if I'm not mistaken, hold on, I forgot. Oh, horticulture. Sorry, horticulture. All right. There's one more I forgot already. Okay. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now I'm going to pay attention on this. This one is important. All right. When I finish my PhD, you see, when you do a PhD, you must produce new knowledge. Your new knowledge means that it expands this boundary that you gathered from 385. Understand? You got it? Yes, no?
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Yes, Professor.
You see, where I'm going to put the little point for which I contribute. Yeah, PhD is small contribution. Don't say that you are a master here yet. Yeah. You see, I put here. Can you see this small dot here? It is a small dot.
Yes, small.
But surely, truly, it does extend the boundary only. Very small. That is why after complete PhD, don't be arrogant. You cannot be. Because the contribution is here. Why does my contribution doesn't stay here at my discipline? That is the beauty of PhD. It brings other discipline to yours. Who said this? The examiner of my thesis. Now I understand why does the other discipline links to landscape architecture. This is a beautiful thesis. This is what PhD is. Yeah? Okay. Now, guys, we're going to do one short exercise. Can someone here, if I can pick Riza from Busan just now. Riza, are you still with us? No? Okay, Rizky, are you still with us?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, give us 3 words. 3 words here. Can you see this? Your initial concern.
Okay.
Post 3 keywords of your research inquiry. What is your research interest? Research interest. What is your research? 3 words now. Tell me.
Tourism.
Right on the board.
Tourism, Prof.
1, tourism. Next.
Cultural.
Culture. Next.
Human.
Human. Human and culture is the same. One more.
Okay. Economic.
Economy. Thank you. Economy. All right. Economy. Sorry. Economy. All right. Now, your name is Rizky, right?
Yes.
Are you a docent?
Yes, I am.
Where?
In Institut Teknologi Kalimantan, Balikpapan.
Oh, Balikpapan ya. Oh, aduh.
Yes.
Nah, ini tim saya mau pergi Balikpapan nanti.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Rizky, tell me between tourism and culture, one word that link tourism and culture. One word.
One word to link tourism and culture.
One word.
Okay, let me think. Any word?
Yeah, any word that comes across your mind. Tourism and culture.
Destination spot.
Destination spot. Thank you. All right. Hold on. Destination spot. All right. One word between culture and economy.
Community development.
Community development. Thank you. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. One word between tourism and economy. One word. Think.
I don't know the English word, but
apa bahasa Indonesianya?
Pendapatan asli daerah.
Hah?
Income.
Pendapatan asli daerah.
Oh, local income. All right.
Yeah, local income.
Income or livelihood.
Livelihood.
Live-
Thank you. Livelihood. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So Rizky, you can start with this.
Okay.
Okay. First, in open knowledge map, you read, then you read. Next, you must write. Okay? All right.
Yes.
Let's take one more here. Who would like to volunteer to give 3 words to me now? Volunteer? Not from Kalimantan, Balikpapan, from other parts of Indonesia.
Anyone?
Luhut?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Where are you from, Luhut? Luhut, where are you from? Okay, where are you from, Luhut? Apa kota yang kamu tinggal sekarang? You cannot. Okay. Irwan, are you with us, Irwan? Okay, never mind. Asri, are you still with us? You're from South Sulawesi, please. Asri.
Yes, Prof.
Okay,
I'm here.
one word, 3 words from you. Quick, Asri.
Water management.
Oh, hold on. Water management. Next.
Land use planning.
Next.
And people, maybe, Prof.
What is it?
People.
People.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Why water management is of your concern, Asri?
Pardon, sir?
Why water management is your concern?
Actually, my job right now is related to water management. That's why water management planning. That's why I really concerned to solve the problem about water management in my region.
What is the problem?
There are many problems.
The big one.
Let's say flood and water. In rainy season, we have a lot of water, but in the in other season we have less water. That's why
So
there
thank
are
you.
many
So therefore,
gaps over there.
you have two problems here: scarcity.
Yeah, scarcity
water,
and flood.
Then too much, right?
Yeah, too much water.
Yeah, too much. It causes flood. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
How does this water management, in one word, link to urban plan, land use planning? One word.
Regulation.
Regulation. Thank you. How does land use planning and people?
Land use planning and people.
Okay. Policy?
Yeah, policy.
Policy, thank you.
Yeah.
Policy. We have just now this student, Rizky. Then we have also Asri. So we just 3 words, then you can begin your inquiry. Right?
Yeah.
So go ahead with the open knowledge map, research map shown by Dr. Liyoklai, Dr. Faradiba, and Dr. Aminah. Start your journey.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, thank you. So now, this is the last slides that I'm going to show to you all before we end our workshop. I'd like to call upon Dr. Faradiba. If you guys interested to study at UTM, which is in Johor Bahru, here the martabak is very nice here in Johor Bahru. And nasi biryani pun sangat sedap. Okay. Tapi tidak macam kami tak ada palu mara, kami tak ada soto Makassar, kan? Kami tak ada mi celur di Palembang, kami tak ada empek-empek. Ya, tapi kami ada kerupuk leko. Yes, okay. You are welcome. So now, Dr. Farah is going to tell you a bit how to apply to UTM. Welcome to UTM. Okay, Dr. Farah? Dr. Farah?
Hello. Okay, I'm so sorry. I've been talking without muting. I'm terribly sorry, Kiss. My apologies. Okay, Prof, very quickly, thank you so much, Prof. So as Prof mentioned about food, because everyone will get very excited when it comes to food. I am a food lover myself. Okay, so a very short introduction of our UTM. Okay, our main campus is in Johor Bahru. Is that not that too far away? Okay, from Sumatra. Okay, so this is actually basically our gate. But this is the old gate. It's actually our landmark. Okay, we have several landmarks. So, and then this is actually our UTM city campus. Okay, so it's in Kuala Lumpur itself. Actually, it's very low, means it's very near to the KLCC. Right, so, and then basically the philosophy of UTM is actually to the divine law of Allah is the foundation for science and technology. You can actually notice here in this today's presentation, Prof did highlighted about the Islamic things. It's about the science behind the Islam. So it's basically that's the philosophy of the UTM. So, and UTM strive with a total and unified effort to attain excellence in science and technology for universal. I'm terribly sorry, Prof. My son is leaving for school shortly, so I'm terribly sorry, okay, guys. So basically, we have our vision to be recognized as a world-class center of academic and technological excellence. So, and then our mission is to be a leader in the development of human capital and innovative technologies that will contribute to the nation wealth creation. Because obviously now we are moving towards this gig economy, where it's about the knowledge. It is the economy itself. So basically this one is not really updated, but actually in total we have 25,437 students inclusive of the internationals. Okay, and in terms of these total graduates, we have actually 722 PhD graduate in 2006. Okay, so I am yet to get the latest numbers because we are going to have our convocations soon, but hopefully after this COVID thing, they will have a physical convocation like the normal one. In terms of the academic staff, we have in total 1,803 academic staff, and these numbers is increasing, which I hope Prof. Mail will actually continue his professorship at UTM. Yeah, Prof, anggap Prof, anggap gitu. Okay, because obviously to lose a knowledge is I feel it's more. The impact is more in terms of the monetary, because knowledge is irreplaceable. Okay, in terms of our graduate employability rates, Alhamdulillah, our students have one of the highest graduate employability rate compared to others. And actually, I forgot to put in the latest one. We actually received a very good remarks from a very top recruiters. Okay, like Accenture, Petronas, all these top companies. Usually, actually, they are very happy with our graduates, right? Okay, so in terms of citations, okay, let me go back to our slide. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we are actually quite active. UTM is actually active in publications thanks to our learned professors, my colleagues as well, Dr. Lee, Prof Ismail, tak payah mention lah, memang banyak publication but my peers, Dr. Amina, Dr. Lee, Amy, themselves, they're actually very active in producing publications. Okay, so in terms of assistance, for you to actually apply PhD for us for the UTM Johor campus, so we have actually School of our Graduate Studies, known as in short SPS. That's the location. It's not that too far away from actually our mosque really, because in Johor we have a campus. It's a very lovely campus, lots of trees, for those who actually really love green, just like me, although I'm in construction economics, but I love plants. Okay, so you feel very welcome, because our food is not that different, so you won't you won't have that homesick, because after all it's not that too far away. So, and then of course for KL, so we have our School of Graduate Studies, actually located at this level 8 Menara Razak, Kuala Lumpur. So how do you go about to apply? So you can actually go to these websites, HTTPS, admission UTM, apply now. So you will be prompted to this website, okay? So this is actually the web page, okay? It's a screenshot of the web page. So basically you can actually go to this information for postgraduate application. So we have master programs, and of course we have master and PhD by research. Okay, we have top program, top course, and actually of course by research. Okay, so for postgraduates, in terms of our built environments, so you can actually you can go to these details. Okay, this is again a screenshot, but there are more, because Dr. Lee, Dr. Amina herself actually showed this trend map of our research areas. Okay, actually there's more of this. Okay, this is just basically just a shortlisted guidance of what kind of research interest that you can actually delve in. Okay, so you'll be prompted to this registration guide. So actually the website actually is very how to say this, it's very straightforward. You can means you won't get lost in a way. So because it's very structured, so you can actually go to these if data guidelines, you can check all the details, right? And then in terms of the fee, right? So we have basically two kind of fee structure for the master programs and as well as the PhD programs. Okay, so basically the normal duration for PhD study is 6 semesters. So and then there is also mixed mode and of course research. So for us, you can see actually for education, for architecture is around 48,600 per year, right? And also, sorry, the whole durations, and then for quantity swings for around 48,600. I would say actually it's more or less the same for all these three divisions, yeah, for all courses in built environment. Okay, in terms of the English requirements, okay, so basically you are required to at least sit for the English test, right, competency. So basically there are several tests that you can actually take. So it depends really on which one. Usually actually for Indonesian students, you're required to sit for IELTS, yeah. So and then the minimum requirements that you need to score to be admitted to UTM is actually band 6, okay, band 6 and above, okay. Right, so how do we go about in terms of the application process? So you again, in the same website, you can actually click in the apply now. So you'll be prompted to this page, right? So whereby it guides you in terms of what are the requirements, the information needed. Okay, so you have to put in all these requirements, okay, your sponsor letter if applicable, referee statement. Okay, referee statement, I'm sure Prof. Ismail is very happy to be your referent, okay, even Dr. Lee and Dr. Amina, okay, so I'm sure my peers here is very happy to assist, right? And then you need to come up with a very short research proposal. So for those who actually applying for the research mode, and then your passport size photograph, okay, and then a proof of working experience is basically postgraduate study. You need to actually you need to have at least work experience, yeah, and then of course again a proof of processing fee. So okay, once you put in that, you'll be prompted into this. So you need to register. Okay, so you can actually register yourself, okay, and then this is where the information that you need to fill in, right? So basically, these are the things that you can actually put in the list of applications, all right? So, and then these are the details that you actually can put in. So, and basically, you just put in, if you notice here, confirm and submit, okay? So in terms of the registration guidelines, okay, so like I said, UTM actually actually shares a very good infographic really in terms of how to apply and actually how to register later on with UTM. Okay, so this actually basically the office responsible in actually taking care and actually managing your study during your study in terms of applications during your studies, and then upon submitting your PhD, once you complete your PhD. So we welcome you because with Prof. Ismail, we went to Palembang, like Amy and Lee, last December 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
I adore the way his experience, how actually his his relationship with his students, like with Dr. Vidya, his former student. It's not like a docent to a student, no. So like I said, PhD study is a different level, so it's like, but the inquiry is there, so it's not like rigid, but study, but you need to balance. So UTM, we have that, and then Alhamdulillah, so we also have our beautiful landscape, so you won't feel stressed. I'm terribly sorry, my kids. You won't feel stressed because, like I said, Prof kata kita kerja kan. That means you treat your PhD as like you're working, but then during weekend you can actually enjoy your time. So, okay, I want to share something. Let me stop here for a while. Okay. I want to show, hold on, another one last slide very quickly. Kejap ya, Prof. Okay, I want to show you this one. Okay, this one actually rather important because, you know, what we learned from Palembang visit. So most of our friends there actually ask about scholarship. Okay, so basically UTM also offers means scholarship. So you can actually go into the same website. Okay, you can actually see all this information. So you can actually apply for UTM Zamana is only for the locals. Okay, so you can actually apply for international doctoral fellowships. Okay, so and then this is actually the requirements, you know. So and there are also other what do you call that? Scholarships available so that you can actually find. Okay, so I guess that's all from me, and we really hope to welcome you to UTM to further your study. That's all from me, Prof. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Farah. So we hope that once you're interested, you can contact Dr. Farah, Dr. Liuk Lai, and Dr. Aminah. So you can fly from Lampung to Batam, then take a ferry. We will see you at the jetty. All right. Thank you, guys. So hopefully this session is that you get enlightened by. Hopefully you get some knowledge and what is meant by research PhD inquiry. Okay. Hopefully it trigger your interest to study PhD, not necessarily in UTM, but other places. All right. Hopefully with this, you able to tell your family that I'm going to the gate. I'm about to enter the gate. So therefore, I'm going to finish my PhD in 6 semesters. After that, I will come back to Palembang, Lampung, Makassar, Banjarmasin, Palu, Gorontalo to serve my nation, to serve my nation. Thank you, guys. Lastly, I'd like to share these quotes here. Can you all read? Hello, can you all read?
Yes, Professor.
Yes,
Can
Professor.
someone read this? Can someone read this? Volunteer? Volunteer?
Curiosity lights up our world and points us in a new direction. Peter Salovey, Yale University.
Yeah. So with PhD, you will get a new direction of knowledge. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoy the workshop and hopefully you can see tatap muka once part COVID kita tewaskan. Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you all. All the best.
If you have any question, you can write the email to us. We will drop our email here in the chat box.
Thank you for the amazing and inspirational lesson, Professor and doctors. Many things is totally new for some of us, totally new. So ladies and gentlemen, we already touched the final section. Thank you for all the participants for attending this workshop. It is a great pleasure to us have you all in this discussion today. We apologize, we totally apologize if there is some uncomfortable situation happening in this workshop. Okay, we expect another opportunity to do a collaboration, of course. Please do not hesitate, please contact us. Or when someday some of you come to Lampung, please we are wait your visit. The gate of Institut Teknologi Sumatera widely open to welcome you. At the end, we hope our journey will cross someday, face to face. God bless us all. I think it is a good way. For now, selamat siang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.